Are you helping keeping the flies down? Oh, were ya? Thanks, man. All right, guys, I have a first in my barn. A first of pink eye. I noticed a doe probably like 2 days ago. She came in to eat. It's one of my young doelings. It's from this year, and then a yearling doe. And she came in to eat, and I just noticed she had a little haze on her eye, and I figured it's a trick of the light. So I didn't really like check her out again. And then the next morning when I came out, I was like, oh my God, what's wrong with your eye? Her eye was like completely glassed over, and it was really, really red around the rims, hence why I've got like the gloves on while I am treating them. So I have her and Zip Fizz. So it's Miss Melrose, Smell to Roses, and Zip Fizz. They are my first ever goats that have been afflicted. I have never had this in my barn before, but it freaked me out because I saw Melrose, and then the next day I came out and Zip Fizz was pressed against the wall and she wasn't coming to feed. You can tell she's just really unsure, and at first I'm like, okay, she's sick. But then she looked at me, and that eye that she had pressed up against the wall had already started to glass a little bit. So I'm sure she was getting pink eye too. So I've got these two isolated so that I can give them LA200 shots, and then I'm also putting Vetericin and dripping LA200 into their eyes so that there is medicine that's getting into the eye. They're getting better. They seem a lot better. The Melrose is coming down, and Zippy's isn't getting worse, but it's not really getting all that much better either. And the big thing is that even though like it's actually very cool today, we finally got rain after like a month with nothing. We had all that precipitation and then nothing. With that fluctuation, flies get insane. And I'm guessing that this is from flies because I just cleaned out bedding last Sunday, yeah. Monday, I caught a little bit of the haze, and then Tuesday, I was like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with you? So I'm guessing because I cleaned up all of my bedding, and flies got down into that and got bacteria, nasty poop, all that on them, and then probably flew and just got into somebody's eye. That's usually how it is passed from goat to goat. But this also means that every time I come out here right now, like I am like checking. I am looking for any goats that seem like they're off, they're pressed up against the wall. They don't want to come off the wall because it's a protection thing. When they're pressed like that, number one, that's not a normal action for a goat to have. They're very social. They want to be like all over you. They want to be with their peoples. So when they were both kind of pressed up against like this wall or like that back wall, and they moved their head towards me, the eye that was closest to the wall was the one that was afflicted. It's so they could see. They are not comfortable when they can't see, but if I know there's a lot of people that say pink eye cannot be treated, you're gonna have to just let it go and let it run its course. But also, like, pink eye can ulcerate on top of the pupil, and when that ulcer bursts, it allows infection to go up into the brain. It can cause them to lose their eyesight, be completely blind. But in worst case scenario, this weather is just wreaking havoc, which is also part of why that pink eye is kind of just jumped up out of nowhere. So it's been super fun. In other news, we have a new pink eye case. It is Uzi, and you can tell right there, Uzi's got some crusties on her eyes. So she is, I caught her pretty early on, honestly. So she's really not that bad. It's not in that eye, it's actually in the other eye she'll turn. He says, no, I just want to show you my nose, Mom. My nose is so cute and boopable. Boop the nose. I will boop your nose if you're not careful. I'm going to boop the nose. See, there you go. You can see her eye right there. It's a little goopy, but it's not as cloudy as the other one. You're so funny. You're so funny. So she is our newest addition, and yes, I have her doe from this year in here, Kalishnikov, because she was so upset to not be with her. But I was able to release Zip from her confines. So now I've got, I've got Moon Mouse, who is Melrose's mother, and Melrose is looking like a lot better. You can kind of tell that eye's still fairly cloudy, but if there's no leakage, she is not weeping. She's probably okay to go back out because she is no longer weeping, which obviously that means like there's no more drainage coming out of her eye. That's the stuff that's really contagious. I do feel like it's from the flies this year. So I have been trying to get my flies under control. So when their eyes are weeping like that, that's when it's not safe to really put them back in with the herd. And honestly, Melrose was the first case. She came in over a week ago, and she's not been weeping for a while. I put her mom in there because she does still nurse. And when she stopped weeping, I let her mom stay in there rather than bringing her mom for her to nurse a couple times a day. Because it just helps her to grow really well. But she is at that point where she's no longer weeping, so she probably is safe to put back out with the herd. And I probably will do that tomorrow morning. I don't like doing it in the nighttime even when they're separated for a couple of days. It's like WrestleMania in there. So I know I'm just asking for them to have confrontations with other members of the herd at nighttime when they all want to go to a small space. In the morning, they all go out to the field. So then it kind of just seems like it diffuses a lot of that tension through the hierarchy when they're out there trying to reestablish who is who, even though really who is who almost never changes in my experience. Head honcho stays head honcho until they almost like step down because they are hurt or they're too old. So yeah, that's what I've got going on today, guys. Chickies. What chickies? Like, what do you have? We are definitely starting to enter into that season of fall where the temperatures are starting to change a little bit. We're starting to see a little bit of different temperaments, like in our goats. Breeding season is almost here, but there's one chore that I always wait a little too late to do around this time of year, and that's going to be to go into our beehives and harvest honey. Now, we don't beekeep for honey. We beekeep for pollination and to support our ecosystem, but honey is a very, very sweet reward, and it's time to get in and check these hives to make sure they're healthy enough to get through the winter. They're really, really nice. They're just full all the way to the brim. They're really, really nice. Nice things, cool. Okay, I don't have my normal brush. I do have a brush from brushing goats. We're just going over it real nice and easy. Just to kind of knock who's on there, because there's not a lot on there. Try to knock them off, keep them off. So I can actually just put it in there. See, I already got 2 frames in, so we're on our way. This is my least favorite chore to do for beekeeping. Everybody looks forward to the honey harvesting, but I hate it. It's not because it's just a dirty job. The bees are hateful sometimes. I don't like hateful bees. They don't like me either. I'm just going to put in an empty frame instead. That doesn't mean we'll keep these frames on here either. This whole box might come off right before, depending on how full it is. I'll do an inspection in October. If this isn't very full, and I'll just take this box off, because then it's just extra space that they have to try to heat in the winter time. And if there's nothing in here of use for them to actually keep warm or I just don't want them to have to use extra energy keeping the space warm. Oh, gooey goodness right there.
The smoker's out.
Yep. It's out. No biggie. Just makes them not happy when I do this. Yeah, keep your hand hidden. So that we have that. Let's have its own little nuts.
You can hear them in there though.
Oh yeah, these guys aren't being very crazy yet. I think we're just right at that beginning of the fall time where I think they could start getting a little sideways in their attitudes. And then sometimes you can just giving it a little shake. Sometimes it's just enough. And you can tell, like, no larvae up in here. There's no eggs. This is just pure honey, which is good for us. Good for us. I'm sure they like that popping a whole lot. We're getting in here too, like midday-ish. Ooh, I don't like this. There's wax moths up in the top here. This might actually be a dead hive. This is dead. I didn't know this one died. This one's dead. I can tell because, like, when I'm moving this, it should be really, really heavy. I shouldn't really be able to do that. And I can actually move it with ease. Guys, we've lost four hives mid-season. Like, this has never happened to me in my time as a beekeeper so far. So it's really, really disheartening, actually.
I noticed there was no activity when I came in here.
I thought so too, and I've been watching it, but I think because it has that reducer on the front,
Mm-hmm.
and for those of you who don't know what a reducer is, there's a hive, an entrance reducer, so there's not, so like I could tell this one because all that crap was like all over the front doorstep, but this one, are these all the ones I moved forward? I'm wondering if I did this, like without really knowing that I did it. When I asked Mark that, I used to have a bunch of them back there, but mid-season I moved them forward. And I'm wondering if I did that. I'm wondering if I freaked them out because this isn't like a dead out. There's not a bunch of dead bees in here. And like, see, there's hardly any dead bees. This is all just cappings. You guys have seen when it's dead bees, which means like the hive actually died. The hives left. All four of them. All four of them have had no dead bees in the bottom, but you can tell like that's because this is all cappings from the honey that was in here that the other hives came in and stole once there was nobody left guarding it. So I don't know what the heck is going on here. It stresses me out though. Oh my gosh, that stresses me out. I really do. They got their propolis game going strong.
Like glue.
Yeah. See how sticky it all is, like all through there. That's how they seal up all the drafts. It's also why we're trying to get in here now so that they have time to redo all that work before it gets really cold. I don't foresee it getting really cold anytime soon, but then again, the weather this year has been quite odd. Just trying to blow it down in between. These guys are known for not really doing good about keeping clean frames. They always make it a little wonky. It's just, I've always said that this hive is artistic. They just don't ever want to do their comb in like a uniform fashion. They're very expressive. They just want to do it their own way. This is a lot lighter honey. Like they've done a really good job dehydrating because the capping is like white on the top. But this is going to be a lot lighter of a honey, like a spring honey almost. They've still got going on in here. So I'm going to go ahead and take this frame.
That is a very full frame.
I mean, like, look at this side. This side is.
Wow.
Like, it's raised up off. Like, it just is a very.
They're all working on it.
They're working. I'm doing the old shakeroo. Take this brush with me, walk away from them. Through the maze of woodware.
Box is getting full.
It's getting full. And when they do their frames like this full, it's.
It looks like a little like gland of honey.
It pretty much is like a gland of honey.
That's crazy.
That's gonna be the nice clear honey too.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Looks tasty.
Good job on this one.
Look how much it's spilled off of there.
I know, like it's kind of crazy how they just do this. Like it's amazing. Hum, 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 hum. I am a bee. Hum, 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 hum. Come and take the honey.
Do you sing to him? Is that him?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know you. Don't sting me, Mr. Bee. They're just smaller, so it just worries me for them when they're smaller like this. But honestly, I would like most beekeepers. I would take off all of the honey and I would only leave the 2 brood boxes. So like technically these guys should by all means survive. We'll put sugar on the top at the very end of the season. But I always worry because like you look at all the other hives around me, everybody has at least one honey super on them. These guys are the only ones that don't. And it might go to where we were just in the CC hive, that all white hive right there. We'll take off that box and we'll take like a 1 or 2 frames from each one of these guys and give them a honey super on the top, just so they have extra stores, and it kind of evens the odds for everybody. But that'll be something like late October that I'll be looking at to see. Yeah, late October. So in about a month and a half.
Super glued on?
Mm-hmm. I hate when it does. Then it's like a big bell, like, hello, is anybody home? And these guys are usually always home. And they have an entrance up here that they utilize a lot. Actually, I saw like fighting up here the other day, and it was fighting because there were bees like just locked onto each other all around the front. So really, I'm almost thinking I should probably close down that entrance because we're in robbing season, where other hives will try to steal from weak hives. I don't think these guys are weak at all, but I'd like to also up their odds. They're a strong hive, honestly. Yeah, they're full to the brim with honey. Honey, 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 honey. These guys are really productive. Really, really productive. Man, I like seeing them this productive, like, at this point in the season. Yes, I could take all of the honey, but guys, we don't do this for honey. They're here for pollination. I value them more as pollinators. Is the honey nice? Yes. But now that we're also on a keto diet, we don't utilize a whole lot of honey. We sell it, so it's nice to get a little return on some of like the woodware and everything else that we do. But we don't beekeep for honey. We beekeep for ecosystem balance when it comes to pollinators. Now I know that they are not native pollinators, but they are still pollinators, and they do a really, really good job. Like my gardens are always amazing, and it's always because of these guys. So that's why I keep them around, not for their honey. It's a nice benefit to have, but that's not the main purpose for me to have them.
All right, I'm going.
Okay, so a friend of ours, Mr. Bill, who watches the channel all the time, and he's actually been out here a couple times, gave us these, and it's called Hive Alive, a fondant patty. So it just maintains colony health. It also gives them another source of calories to build up their stores for the winter. So I'm gonna go ahead and just cut myself. I think he said like he cut a hole like just around where it says Hive Alive, and they actually do their own thing.
Yeah, and he's a fellow beekeeper as well now. He loves.
And beekeeping is like his thing. Or I'm crazy about my goats, he's crazy about his bees. Which is good. I think everybody should find something that they're absolutely crazy about and that they love and keeps them from being bored. Honest to goodness. If you're not bored, you're not going to get in trouble. Got too many people getting in trouble nowadays.
Looks a little bit like Swiss cheese from up here with the holes in it. Swiss bees.
I wonder, I bet it's like, well, you know, they do like cake fondant, like for decoration, and that's basically like the same consistency. So I'm actually just gonna open it up like this.
Stay cake boss, we have cake bees.
Cake bees. No cake bosses here, I like cake bees. Get honey suits.
Yeah, with this drought, I mean, it's hitting
a
lots
lot
of the plants and resources hard here.
Well, deer season is getting ready to come up, and I was actually just thinking, I'm like, oh, I was thinking like how the woods are going to look different when we go into them, because it already looks like fall. I'm like, oh, we might as well just hunt water sources at this time, because that's what they're all after is water, because we have had so little rainfall.
I mean, just looking at the yard,
guys, today is September 20th. It should still be green.
Yeah.
Everything should still be green.
You can tell where our leach lines are for our house.
Yeah. Got the poo-poo platter going on.
I wonder where they're getting those resources.
My resources. I'm giving them resources. You're giving them resources. Doing our part. Here we go. Actually, I'm gonna put this on that little one. Should I put another thing on the top then and put this up there so they go up and feed and maybe make stuff?
Up to you, whatever you think is best.
Yeah, because then at least I have something on the top there. Mark gets to listen to me mindlessly chatter about what I think maybe we should do. And he'll give me input and then I'll just come up with my own idea. Sorry, babe. The poor guy, he endures so much. Anybody that actually knows this in real life, you know this.
Because this is the one that doesn't have a honey super on it right now.
Yeah, so I'm going to go grab actually a honey super, put it in there. And a lot of these other hives had already made, the ones that failed, already had some drawn combs. So like a lot of the work's already done.
So it's like a head start for them.
Uh-oh.
What's up?
Uh-oh, this is an 8-frame.
Oh.
That's okay. I'll run up there and grab the 8-frame box.
I was going to say we should have one.
We do. We have an extra box.
All right.
All right, you can stop.
So we needed an 8-frame to top a beehive, a 8-frame super, and she said they're in this room and painted crazy, which you can see they're all painted a little crazy, but the 8-frame yippee are down here. Guess I got some work for me to do.
Okay, just kind of moving out of the line of fire here, which actually I've got 2 lines of fire. If you guys can't tell because of what we just saw inside of our cat hutch here, which we put over that last night because we knew it was going to rain and we wanted to make it super accessible for the bees. But you can see the spinner is right there. I spun honey last night. No, I did not take any footage because it's just, for me, it's a really sticky, gross, experience. It's not really difficult or anything. It's just one of those things where like I just don't really enjoy it a whole lot because I'm a texture person and I don't like feeling sticky and I don't like my clothes feeling sticky and I don't feel like everything, I don't like when anything feels really sticky. So we've got our honey drawn, but now we're letting the honeybees kind of clean up my mess, mostly because like we're at the end of the season. You guys can see the corn behind me. Like it is late September. Our corn probably shouldn't be this brown, but we've been in a little bit of a drought, which makes the rain oh so nice to get. But with it being late season and with the drought and things, they're probably not going to be in bloom as long because we haven't got really good rainfall. We're making sure that they get everything back to clean up. So they were getting like the boxes that I harvested the frames in. There is a substantial, not substantial, but like more than just like a little bit of honey down in the bottom of the spinner. So I'm sure right now I don't have a lot of bees in here after this, but I'm going to guarantee you that probably in about an hour or two, my entire garage is going to be full of bees, which does not bother me. They're in harvest mode right now. They're really not like trying to bother me. I've had several of them laying on my hands and my hair. On my clothes, and it doesn't really bother me because I'm not going to smack them or get them to try to hurt me or anything. But just thought I'd let you guys know honey harvest is done. So you saw us pull those frames and we've harvested. I will be taking honey along with me to some of the craft shows that I go to. It's always a really good seller, and honestly we almost always sell out. We almost never have any truly left over for ourselves. But in the same breath, Mark and I have been on a keto journey for almost a year. Mark's been on it for a year. I'll be on it for a year in November. So honey really isn't always in our meal plans or much of anything really. Well, I do partake in it, especially in cold season or if I have a sore throat, but it's just not something that we eat a whole lot. But it's wonderful to share with our community.